My 17F friend's 19M dick was in my face. Now things are really weird. We all 18M, 19M, 17F, 19F, 20M, 17F, went camping on the weekend. Everyone except my friend 19M bought a change of clothes. He left his in his car, but we went in another car. We got really dirty, so he took off his clothes and washed the mud off of them nearby, and had a towel and boxers when he got out of the shower. You know the boxers that have intentional holes? That's what he had on under his towel. We all slept on the floor in the same room, and out of the 6 of us, we both tend to toss and turn. He was at the very end and I was next to him, but not too close. When I woke up, he had turned and had moved closer to him, but since I was sleeping lower, I was really close to his dick because when he turned, I'm assuming his towel partially came off and the hole in his boxers was open to the point where you could see his dick from where I was sleeping. No one else was awake, just me. I attempted to get his towel from the other side and just turn it over, but I had tripped over him in the process, which caused him to wake up and see that his dick was out. Pretty awkward ever since. Any tips on how to break the ice? Maybe he thought you were pulling the towel off of him? Grimacing face. Yeah, that was my assumption reading this too. For that reason, I think a conversation between the two is necessary. It will be a hella awkward one, but he needs to know that she was trying to help, not sexually assaulting him. Lamau, either make a joke out of it or never mention it again. I'm sure he's embarrassed enough to never make this mistake again. Maybe he thinks you took it out. I mean, he waked up to you working with his towel and his dick is breathing fresh air. His dick is breathing fresh air. OMG, love this. Laugh it off. No big deal. I don't know. It was an accident, skull. I totally get it was an accident, which is why I'm looking to break the ice. I cannot get more than one word out of him and I don't want things to be weird. My girlfriend is dead inside. Sorry for the long post, but I request you to read this once. Any help will be appreciated. Okay, so here we go. Never thought I'll ask Reddit, but nothing else seems to help. I am 21M and my girlfriend is also 21F. Been in relationship for 6 years. She was a very happy, genuine, honest person. Despite coming from a poor family, she was close to reaching all her goals. And not having enough funds or living in a small house didn't bother her at all. She used to make sure she utilized every opportunity in her life, and she was thankful to God for giving her a great family. Totally devoted towards her goals and career. And in September 2019, her mother passed away. I know she loved her mother and shared everything with her, but I didn't know losing her could bring this big of an impact on her life. At first it was hard, very hard for her. And I always tried to motivate her, listen to her, made her open up about what she was really feeling. All the days and nights she cried, I was with her, still holding her and motivating her in life. I always thought this will pass. But it didn't actually. Yeah, I mean the situation is better than it was 2 years ago, but the more time I've spent with her over these 2 years, Corona lockdown made us very close since we are like neighbors, the more I've realized that she hasn't moved on, at all. And I don't blame her, at all. I can never imagine the feeling of my mom passing away. But I always thought it will pass, or at least she'll gain some inspiration to move forward. But it's been 2 years and I know deep down, it's all the same. There are other reasons too, like her father has changed a lot since mom passed. She doesn't like the idea of father getting a second marriage because she always thought there was true love between her parents. Her family has been ignoring her pretty much, and she's not on good terms with any of her family members. Her family members are greedy. All they want is my dead mother-in-law's land papers. So she cut them off. She doesn't like her college. She had many friends, but now her circle seems to be growing smaller and smaller every day. Sometimes imagine myself in place of her, and realize how fucking strong she is, still holding on, smiling every day. She says the only good thing in her life left is me. She just sometimes breaks down on my arms, and goddamn it, I break down too. Although when I see her almost every day, she always smiles at me, we laugh and love, but I can see her pain, her agony, her misery, her wanting to be dead eyes, behind her laughter. I want to help her. I really do. Willing to do anything it takes. But I seem helpless, like her. Sometimes, it just feels like, this void, won't ever be filled. Maybe, it's not meant to be filled. If you made it this far, then thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Are there any psychology students that might give free therapy? We do this in Mexico, so maybe check up on that. Otherwise try YouTube and or look for books that have to do with grief or helping someone who's in need. I can assure you there's many resources. Heart, thanks. I'll look into this. Smile. I think you should give it more time. Honestly, the best you could do is being there for her. Deleted. Lost my mom in '06. Was 22 at the time, so I was fairly young. Losing a parent is fucking rough, especially at a younger age. It makes it worse when you see other friends or family who still have their parents late into their lives. I know for me it felt like I was missing a large part of life and the living experience. Give it more time. Be there for her. She's not dead inside, she's just lost. Therapy? Reddit won't help, but therapy has a way higher chance in doing so. Talk with her about getting help. The problem is, this is India. 1. Therapy is costly here and we are just students. 2. If we go and tell this mental health problem to our parents, they'll just laugh at us saying things like that don't exist. Smile. Just hang in there, bro. She will take her own time to get over this. You can only be there for her, as best you can. Not much else you can do. I also think the same. But sometimes just watching your loved one go through all this isn't bearable. Quim? Should I, 32F, be worried about my husband's, 39M, coworker, 21F? I can't figure out if this is my own insecurity or if I should really be watching this woman around my husband. They are coworkers but different departments. She's came over a few times, with other coworkers, for drinks after work. She has a long-term boyfriend but has also mentioned looking for a girlfriend, so I'm not sure if her relationship is rocky or an open relationship. My husband is very flirty by nature. He spent most of his teen/mid-20s working as a server, and while it was cute/harmless flirting with an 80-year-old woman, I've had to help him see that it's taken a bit different when you're flirting with a woman your own age or younger. So this coworker and a few others came over earlier this week to decompress after a long workday. I'm not going to lie and pretend she doesn't make me feel insecure at times. She's 10 years younger than me and has a great body. So we were all sitting around when she started talking about her past relationships and starting bragging about how she used to sleep with her ex-boyfriend's father as a teen, while she was with the ex-boyfriend, and some prior bosses she had fooled around with. Then the conversation goes to the new work cameras and how she is upset they are putting cameras in the parking lot because she's had sex in the parking lot so many times because there weren't cameras before. Every time this coworker comes over, the conversation seems to turn sexual. I chalked it up to immaturity/attention seeking, but then she rubbed me the wrong way when she made a comment about my husband being her spirit animal when he made a joke as he was walking out of the room. Then watched him light her cigarette for her later on that night when we were all sitting around the fire. That little gesture really annoyed me because he doesn't do little sweet things like that for me. We've been married so long that I am an afterthought when it comes to romance. So I did address it with him and let him know I wasn't comfortable with how he acted around her and how his flirting makes me feel. Our conversation felt good, but I don't know if I'm just overreacting or if I should keep an eye on this girl. It is depressing as hell, but I just can't rely on my husband not to cheat. He is almost 40 and insecure about his aging. I try so hard to make him see how sexy he is to me, but I'm sure a hot young 21-year-old sounds better than a 32-year-old with mom pudge. I'm just feeling nervous, but I'm not sure it's warranted. The woman has always been nice to me when I've been around her. I just don't know. Edit, just to give some background info. Husband has been unfaithful in the past. First time was in the very first few months of our relationship. Then found out years later he had been sexting with random women online. I've confronted him and we've been working on reconciliation for the past 2 years. He says he's not interested in this girl. I just wasn't sure if I was looking too far into her behavior. I already told my husband his behavior toward her seemed inappropriate. He apologized. I don't want to make things awkward if I am making more of it than it really is, but I just wasn't sure. Your hubby is the one to watch. Also, by actually admitting that you cannot rely on him says it's time to think about moving on with your life. Why on earth would you settle for this? Have some self-respect. Tell him directly what you have shared here. Get his reaction, then decide what to do. I would suggest not paying so much attention on her behavior but your husband's. You can't watch her 24/7, that would be inappropriate as hell. And she can throw bones out for your husband as much as she wants, but as long as he ain't catching any of them it's alright. She's her own person, and as fucked up as her behavior is, you are not the one that needs to be watching over her. As others have said, it's not the 21-year-old that you have to worry about. It is your husband. He sounds like the one you need to watch. Husband has cheated before. Recently, at that. More than once. Insecure about his aging. Does sweet little things for this girl. Hangs out with a younger woman who seemingly talks about sex all the time. Hangs out with a younger woman who knowingly goes after older men, fathers, bosses, has sex at work, might be in an open relationship, and seems like she might have no moral issues with sleeping with your husband. Look, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I wouldn't trust your husband either. Does he want this marriage to work? After what he has put you through in the past, I would say if he is not willing to let go of a casual work acquaintance to make his wife comfortable, this marriage is doomed. Just in the principle that he won't sever this attachment to someone who is problematic for a cheater to be around. If he wants this to work, there need to be boundaries and there needs to be trust. My so has never cheated on me and he never would, but if he had a coworker who called him her spirit animal and he lit cigarettes for her and she talked about sex all the time, I would not be cool with that. That seems inappropriate, at least on the other woman's end. Your husband is enabling her, either because he just likes the attention or because he likes her. How do we know he isn't one of the many she has had sex with at work? Honestly, you say mom pudge, but you're only 32. You can and will find someone better, if you two split up and you go looking.